Hello and what's going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT is here. Welcome back, and it's time to get ready to participate in the 2021/22 exhibition series on Gran Turismo Sport. First up, for the manufacturer series, we'll be starting out in round 1. We'll be racing at Dragon Trail Seaside for 15 laps with using the Group 3 category for today, because we've been spending a lot of good relaxing time out there to be in the first and second season of the manufacturer series and Nations Cup of the 2021 series. So right now, things are about to go a little bit same and different by having a different racetrack. We'll be going in by the schedule. And make sure the 5-point race entry will be available at the time by starting out in 1800 hours. We'll be doing the first point race entry. For this clip of the segment, 4-point race entry will be available at the time, so just gonna have to make sure whenever you're gonna have to participate at any time by choosing any manufacturer car brands to support. Mandatory tire requirements will be doing the same thing, will be featured as well, so do your best and take a lot of good practice before we will join in session. Different liveries by any same car types will be going in to be selected, especially for my Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 to have a good same variant will be labeled as an update. So here I go, folks. The balance of performance will be setting up automatically. We'll be giving a good choice. We'll be starting out onto the Racing Soft tires to be giving a good choice to do the first effort. Let's see how the exhibition series is going to be. Quite turns out to be a great success. If you're new to my YouTube channel, go and click the subscribe button and leave a like and comment at the section down below, and check out the links on the description if you really want to see more. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the first race of the manufacturer series of the 2021/22 exhibition series, and let's begin. Welcome to the start of the 2021/22 exhibition series of the manufacturer series is about to begin. Group 3 race cars are now ready to go by having a best start. Here's Nikra M in first place in the Porsche 911 RSR, followed by the Capti Dupla in second place in the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept with a 10-second variant. And here's myself in third place for the UDRS Sportec livery by having an update. Ina Ornia 69 takes 4th place in the Ford GT LM Spec 2 test car. IGT Anderson from Brazil in 5th place in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage. And we have another Brazilian racer in 6th place is now entered in for the first time ever to be in session. Peter Samuel in 7th place in the Subaru WRX Group 3. El Moro 14 is now taking the Nissan GTR in 8th place. Nanya Business is now taking 9th place in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3, followed by M. Pressa in 10th place in the Porsche 911 RSR. Hiroto takes the GR Supra Racing Concept 2018 in 11th place. And here is Neil Longman in 12th place in the GT Citroen Race Car Group 3 category. Member_666 is now entered in onto 13th place for the gray colored Corvette Group 3. Jalix 32 in the Subaru WRX is now taking 14th place, and here is Mr. McBeatpunch in 15th place in the BMW M6 GT3. Salty_Trev in 16th place for the Hyundai Genesis. Gustavo Sosa in 17th place in the 2017 Lexus RCF GT3. Beto Mamba 824 from Mexico takes 18th place in the Honda NSX, and for the last place is Ultra DJ Jin is now taking the last position. 15 laps and Dragon Trail is going to be the only modest steps for the Group 3 category. We'll be ready to start out in the first round. So let's begin on to the rolling start, and the first step we'll be choosing 2 choice of the tire compound to be in the racing category. We'll be giving a good use. go with the medium or soft. Determination that might be depends on that we might give a good ways to be keeping in or having a good position to be climbing up. So right now, 3 seconds pass by and we're about to be going to start for the green light, and let's begin. UDRS Insportec takes the 3rd position to catch up with Porsche and Toyota before coming into turn 1 and 2. Take that position is going to get a little bit risky, but the ghosting mode is going to be quite giving a concentration, and there's Inra in the Ford GT is now passing in onto 3rd place. IGT_Anderson takes the position number 4 to be climbing up, and oh boy, looks like this is going to be a contact, and that is going to be a close call for Insportec before coming in onto the first hairpin. That was a sign of a really close for having a head start to be in the first round. Better make sure, you guys, take exercise caution when the opponent is coming around by having a moderation. We'll have to keep a good speed further checked. That is going to be quite taking a contact by a second ago before moving on in Sector 2 after leaving Sector 1 in the first hairpin. Aston Martin and Ford is about to be going in to take the second hairpin by pulling the braking point, followed by Porsche and Toyota is about to be going in to be passed over onto the bus stop chicane. And oh boy, it looks like Aston Martin just barely lose control in the second hairpin before Ford takes the 3rd sector before coming in to take the chicane bus stop. Better make sure one car at a time, and that will might give Insportec will be doing the best proper ways. We'll have to stay safe and doing a good caution out there before moving on to take the final turn is hairpin number 3. Toyota is now coming in to take action to catch up onto Porsche, and we have a 4th place driver from Brazil is another Aston Martin is coming in by overtake UDRS Insportec to be dropped down onto position number 5. Lap number 1 is clear and moving on into lap number 2. Just like first and second season of the Manufacturer Series back in the 2021 series, but things are about to get a little bit different this time, viewers. New drivers and some familiar usernames will be joining in to take the best competition. Will have to join the party. Everything is going to be a big start out there for the beginners. Now, let's see how Insportec could probably have to stay in for the top 5 position. Ford GT in 3rd place, driven by Ina Ornia 69, is now coming in to catch up on to Capiti Luca in 2nd place from Canada in the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept 2018 with a Fast and Furious 10-second car variant. But it is definitely might be giving a good popular culture from the street race version from the original Toyota Supra was also to be identified as a Mark IV version. Also to be quite very good to be used as a concept car for a 2018 race car. So right now, looks like the Capti Luca is now moving on to take 1st place to be on front. Taking the depth chicane is going to get a little bit crazy out there for only one car will have to pass through and pass it in for having a good clear call out there. And Ford takes 2nd place after Porsche is dropping down on to 3rd place to be proceed forward until the final hairpin at hairpin number 3 is going to be getting a little bit much same usual out there to see how many racers could probably have to take the high battle. Will have to go for the risk. Ina Ornia is now going faster for the overtake and takes the lead by overtake the Capti Luca in 2nd place in the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept in lap number 3. It was incredible to see how a supercharged Ford GT takes the front line is about to be going in to take home the podium. But look at this, folks. One driver in the Ford GT LM Spec 2 test car is now taking 1st place, and Porsche and Toyota is now going in for taking a higher faster by the offensive approach. Better make sure after taking turn 1 of the hairpin in Sector 1 before moving on in Sector 2. Landmark, by having a good reminder spot for every racer out there, will have to keep on trying. Now goes on for the last second for Insportec. Team UDRS in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 is now going faster by the ongoing to stay in 5th place in about 2.5 seconds on to Impereza's position in number 6. Hopefully, the range is going to get much moderation out there since 2 weeks after the Manufacturer Series of the 2021 series is going to be quite doing a fantastic final showdown in Fuji International Speedway for the Group 4 category. But a reminder notice, viewers, it's going to be a long time for having a lot of busy developments. We'll have to get things through. It will have to take some time before it will be featured from the past present, and the future for my YouTube channel will have to get some more subscribers. We'll be climbing up to 1,000. So let's go over to take the final turn, and hairpin number 3 will be going in for the inside and passes in by having a good slightly corner to be proceed over onto lap number 4. So let's see how the fastest lap is going to be quite going progress out there in Hyperion 69 in the Ford GT. 1 minute and 38.495 seconds is going to be quite supercharged for having a faster limit out there. I hope the Capiluca in the Toyota GR Supra Racing concept could probably have to keep pushing forward by having a good turbocharged pace. Followed by Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR is now going to be staying on over to be on the edge in position number 3. That will might give a fierce battle for only 3 Canadian Gran Turismo racers who will have to work together as a team. Anyhow, different manufacturer car brands to be in the series is going to be quite taking the main role for having a best support. Just going to have to go over to take that best pace for Insportec. Climbing up and use the apex whenever I can, and gets a little bit closer on Impreza in position number 6 and about 1.5 seconds to go for the range of the gap. And here comes the yellow flag signal, viewers. This cannot be good. We have Hyperion 69 in the Ford GT LM Spec 2 test car just barely took an incident by having an instant replay, but it will might have to be called out to see how this happened. One Ford GT racer just barely had the chance for having a good motivation to have a good innovation. But it is definitely might be quite very good to see how one Ford GT is going to be quite taking the best leading position spot before Toyota takes the lead. But not yet, because we have Porsche is now in first place, followed by Toyota in second place, followed by Aston Martin in third place is going to be climbing up onto lap number 5. But it's going to be giving wave number 1 clear. We'll be going in for only 10 more to go by the remaining viewers. Take your time. This exhibition series is only just for the beginners. Now on to the last minute. Hyperion 69 in the Ford GT LM Spec 2 test car is dropping down by different position by taking the recovery after UDRS Insportec in the Corvette C7 Group 3 passes on in position number 4. On to the last update, Impreza is moving on in position number 5 to catch up with UDRS in 4th place. Is going to get much closer out there by having 0.2 seconds behind. And there he is. There he is, folks. Impreza is now coming in to take the scene. Will UDRS Insportec has to take action to defend the current position? But not yet. Hairpin number 2 is going to be the only main advantage to see how Impreza can take it. And then there it goes. Another Porsche 911 RSR is going to be moving on in position number 4 to be having a precisely 4 speed to be dropped down for Insportec in the Corvette C7 Group 3. 5th place is going to be the only same thing like the first wave for having the best effort out there. Will have to work hard. But I did my best. Climbing up onto the top 5 position is going to be the hardest effort out there to see how Gran Turismo player could probably have to race hard with the best manufacturer car brand to be in the series. So we have the Capiluca in the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept 2018 with a 10-second car variant has entered the pits to be in the first one to go in. Switching out from the racing soft tires, we'll be going in onto the medium racing compound, but still got a lot of good durability for the medium racing compound tires for Insportec. Luckily, the secret strategy is going to be the first leg will be starting out to be in the top position. That will might be the only example by the recommendation. But the position is going to be the only difference out there for Impreza and myself to be in 3rd and 4th place. Taking the chase, it's about to be going forward to be in Sector 2 once again. A fierce battle between the FR and the MR, and Team Chevy and Porsche is about to be battling out to take 3rd place. Is going to be a lot of challenging effort out there to be on the struggle, viewers. Let's see how I could probably have to catch up onto Impreza. We'll be getting closer by the overtake. Taking a slightly pulling braking point onto hairpin number 2. Impreza could probably have to stay on the current grip. That's the ticket. Without fail, everything is going to be keeping a good right handling spot for having a best motivation out there to have a good balance mobility. Passing through onto the dead chicane and coming in onto the curb straightaway by passing through to the tunnels. That should probably might give a good advantage to have a good supercharged Corvette will be going in to take the final turn. And here is Nikra M, and also for the second place driver in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage GT3 is coming in, and we have Impreza and myself is now going in to take first and second place by moving on in lap number 7. How incredible to see how two drivers is going to be quite giving a good semi-endurance will have to go in. Further of that is going to be quite very remarkable to see how Porsche and Chevy can battle out to be in the top position. This one is going to be a much incredible battle out there to be in this video segment, folks. Impreza is now going in for the defense before coming in onto hairpin number 1 in sector 1. UDRS Insportec takes the push to proceed over onto sector 2 down the hill by taking the S curves. Hopefully, the strategy is going to be quite taking a good maintained formation out there. Impreza knows Insportec strategies can probably have to go faster by having an increased acceleration. Gonna have to keep pushing away. Increased distance by the gap is going to get much closer by over 0.5 seconds. Is going to be going well behind for Impreza. Passing through onto hairpin number 2, Insportec is not giving up the chase, folks. Impreza in the Porsche 911 RSR enters sector 3 by taking the bus stop chicane. Is going to get a little bit harder out there by having a good quick dive in to be proceeding in. And hold on. Oh man, I cannot believe it. Impreza almost barely had the chance by having a good clear dodge and barely took a hit by having a yellow flag to be called out. Insportec is now moving on to take the lead to have a good successful overtake. That was a good exercise caution out there to see this good moment. But luckily for Impreza, survives to be in the top position to be dropping down from 1st to 5th place. What can I tell you, viewers? Gonna have to keep an eye out onto the orange barrier. That is gonna be the hardest strong spot that we have to be very alert. And luckily for Impreza, just definitely might be staying in top 5 in one piece. Dropping down onto 6th place to be proceed over by having an overtake from Peter Samuel. But looks like it's going to be quite doing well out there to see how the drivers could probably give a good motivation talent. Will have to go faster by having a good lack of endurance, by having a different changes onto the regulations for having a good suitable mandatory requirement by only 2. Currently on to Sector 2 for UDRS Insportec in the Chevrolet Corvette C7 Group 3, but it was definitely might be have the same livery variant, but it also has the updated version. We'll be putting up with some different decals, but the same also to be remains will have to give a good different position. Is going to be quite giving a good different look. Just like any other car liveries that might have a different appearance by putting up with some updates, but somehow updates always going to be quite giving a good important fact for having a main livery. We'll be putting up with some different stages. That's how seasons always going to be putting up with a different variant. Will be participate to be in the FIA Gran Turismo Championship. But hold on, looks like this is going to be quite giving a further update, and we have Nunya Fizz is now moving on to take the lead in 1st place by using the same Corvette C7 Group 3. And hold on, looks like it's going in onto the pits by changing up onto the different direction. And there is Nikra M is now coming in to take the lead by having a side-by-side with UDRS Insportec. Takes the inside and coming in onto the second turn. And Team Chevy is going to be going in to take the upper advantage. Is going to be quite going right back onto the lead. That's more like it. That should probably have to stay on top of the current position for Insportec before moving on in lap number 10. We'll be calling out onto the first stop. We'll be switched over onto the racing soft tires. Will be requested. And there you go, folks. Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR takes the lead and comes right back onto the same spot to be in Sector 2 after UDRS Insportec is staying on over to be in 2nd place. But it's not over yet. We got 6 laps to go by the remaining, so we have to keep an eye out onto the tire mandatory requirement. Will be well avoided to get caught in a 1-minute penalty. Not gonna be this time. This one is going to be the only safe spot for UDRS. Will have to keep on racing to stay clean by having a main focus to keep going forward to be in the top position. Sector 3 is going to be the only same hard spot to be in the dead chicane. Gonna have to keep a good turbo onto the orange barrier spot. Now coming in onto the final hairpin in hairpin number 3. Passes over on to Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR. UDRS and Sportec is now going in to take the pit stop. Will be switched over from the medium into soft racing tires. Will be given the only requirement. Will have to stay on over to be in the top current position. But we have a third driver. Is Perotto is now coming in to be labeled into the yellow medium spot. Tire set and a little bit amount of refuel is good to go. By the nick of time and dropping down onto different position, and it looks like we have Gustavo Sosa and JLitz 32 is now passing UDRS and Sportec is coming out into the pits, and we have 2 Subaru WRX Group 3 is coming in to be in the scene to take the chase to catch up onto Lexus RCF GT3 2017 version. Now coming towards onto the first hairpin, folks, we got 4 cars are now coming in to take the battle for 4th place. Is going to be the ongoing chase. Will UDRS and Sportec could probably have to handle with 2 Subaru WRX and a single Lexus RCF GT3 by having a chase to catch up onto the 4th place driver? The answer is, the conclusion is going to be quite taking a little bit much time out there, but having a good strategy advantage will have to keep coming in. Gonna have to get closer onto Peter Samuel's current position and dive down onto hairpin number 2. And hold on, looks like this is going to get a little bit close call out there, but Gustavo Sosa in the Lexus RCF GT3 2017 is going to be giving a close call. But thank goodness, one Lexus barely survived hairpin number 2 by having a good risk. Will be going in to continue the chase. 5 laps remaining, folks. This race is definitely might be going well out there to have a nice, wonderful start. Just going to go in onto hairpin number 3 as the final corner, and a single contact just barely took a hit. It's Impreza in the Porsche 911 RSR is coming in to be in the scene. So it looks like UDRS and Sportec is having a little bit more disturbance out there. We'll have to keep a good reminder notice on Impreza. Just try and learn to have a good clean overtake when you're in the corner. That should probably have to do the trick. There you go. Looks like good communication comes in handy. Now let's see how 2 Subaru drivers is now coming along. One of them is already made it in onto 5th place, is Peter Samuel from Brazil, now coming in onto Sector 2 after leaving Sector 1. Gustavo Sosa is still tries to catch up onto JLitz 32 in another Subaru WRX Group 3, but the same livery comes in by having an official match is going to be quite giving a different car number will be going in by the recognition. But let's see how one Lexus RCF GT3 driver could probably have to catch up with 2 Subaru WRX Group 3 could probably have to go in onto hairpin number 2, since the last lap just barely made a close call. Very good. Staying on the right slipstream, we'll have to go in by the connection. Passes in onto the dead chicane, we'll be going by the bus stop. And now 4 laps to go by the remaining. Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR is still going faster by having a best advantage. Will be going forward by having a good successful run. But hopefully, turn number 3 of the hairpin is going to be quite giving a hard spot out there. We'll have to keep a good eyes check by having a braking point. We'll be going in by the signal. It looks like Gustavo Sosa is now moving in to take position number 6. Is going to be quite going forward in lap number 12. JLitz 32 is now going to have to go faster before taking on in the second turn. And meanwhile, for UDRS and Sportec in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 is now closing in about 0.6 seconds up ahead onto the length of the gap. Just going to have to stay closer. Take hairpin number 1 is going to get a little bit much inside position to see it. Gustavo is slowing down, and Jilitz 32 is going faster by the advantage. Will be doing a single overtake at Sector 2. But wait, looks like UDRS is now entered the scene, overtakes Gustavo Sosa and catches up onto Jilitz 32 in the Subaru WRX Group 3. Insportec is going faster by the upper hand. It's going to be much successful to see how a Boxster Spirit could probably have to handle with a supercharged Corvette. Subaru and Chevrolet takes hairpin number 2 after member underscore 666 is coming in to do the same. But we have 2 Subaru WRX and 2 Corvettes are now going in to take the same battle by any different position. Let's see how 2 cars can probably have to work together. We'll have to get passed through. But taking turns is going to be the only way whenever we have to get forward by having a good, brilliant slipstream. But this one is going to be quite doing a best moment out there to be in the highlights. After taking hairpin number 3 as the final corner, getting a little bit closer out there by having lap number 13 towards having a good forward step. And it's a side-by-side for having a good push out there for UDRS. And there it goes. Dived in onto turn 1 before coming in onto turn number 2 to catch up onto member underscore 666 in the same Corvette with a different livery variant to be colored out to be in a light gray scheme. That was so incredible to see how UDRS is going to be quite taking a good heroic act. Will be going in to have a good successful moments to be in the top 5 position. But I mean, it was going to be quite doing great to see how racing action is all about to have a good successful entertainment. And the spectators really goes on a cheering wild for having Insportec to be climbing up onto the top 5 position. But still getting closer in about 1.2 seconds to go onto the length of the distance. Member underscore 666 can probably have to keep it up because Insportec is about to be on the way. There he is right now, still getting a lot of further closer to catch up onto Peter Samuel in 4th place for the Subaru WRX Group 3. Take that passing through to the dead chicane bus stop corner. Will be going in onto the curb straightaway at the tunnel. So looks like we have some further fastest update for IGT underscore Anderson from Brazil. Doing a good job out there for only 1 minute and 38.1 seconds is going to be the only perfect match will be suitable as a recommend fastest record set. But I mean, it looks very brilliant to see how IGT Anderson can probably have to keep working harder out there to be mastering the track on Dragon Trail Seaside. Is going to be the only best track out there in Croatia to be part of Europe. But hold on, looks like member underscore 666 is slowing down by having a forceful recovery. That will might have the opportunity for UDRS Insportec will have to close in towards hairpin number 1. Strategy is clear, and now member underscore 666 endures by having an ongoing defense while UDRS has to pull the brake, will have to get much further out there, and goes forward by having the S-curves, will be taking the overtake pass. That's more like it, folks. That's the ticket. I am going in to take the lead by having a good, successful 5th place moving on the roll. But it's not over yet. Lap number 14 is going to get nearly there towards the final lap. Let's see how the top 3 drivers is going to be quite doing the best effort out there for having an ever long length distance to be in the Seaside track of Dragon Trail. Coming in and take that braking point to pass through to dodge that dead chicane. And moving on to have a good slightly advantage will be going forward by the tunnels. And here it comes, folks. Looks like Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR proceeds over onto the final lap for only one last run. Let's see how the 2nd place driver in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage GT3 could probably have to catch it up. Already passed through on to turn 2 and 3 by taking the upper hill chicane. Passes over onto the hairpin, is going to get much closer out there to see how Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR will be getting closer towards Sector 2 at the end of Sector 1. Peter Samuel in the Subaru WRX Group 3 could probably have to keep going forward to catch up on to Nunya Biz is now going forward to take the first hairpin, will be going over by having a slightly turn. passes through onto Sector 1 and moves on to be in Sector 2 before coming in onto the final sector. Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR is on the high road, folks. Let's see how Team Porsche could probably have to take home the podium, just like having a good grueling showdown in Red Bull Ring. But I mean, we just watched that video because it was a lot of good excited showdown that we didn't see how a Dodge Viper SRT GT3R is climbing up to be in the top 3 position. And there goes, folks. Looks like we got some good action out there to be coming in to get passed through onto the dead chicane to be in the final sector. Nikra M is now going in to take the final hairpin to be in the corner. This is going to be the only final first place victory win to see in the first round in the Manufacturer Series of the 2021/22 Exhibition Series, and Nikra M is now going in to take the win. One Canadian driver in the Porsche 911 RSR have finally made it, folks. Team Porsche takes the win in round 1 of the 2021/22 Exhibition Series Manufacturer Series. Way to go, Nikra M. You did a pretty good, proud job out there, man. That is so amazing. So good and so awesome to have Porsche takes the win in the first round. And also for the second place driver in the Aston Martin B12 Vantage GT3 takes a good, successful job finish. And Nunya Finbiz in third place in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 takes the bronze position. Peter Samuel did a good job in fourth, and I did great. Fifth place is climbing up onto the number 5 spot, viewers. Now that's competition. 2 tires without having a 1-minute penalty is going to be well clear. That's a number 1 thumbs up for having a good clean record progress to be in 5th place for only a 3rd time. Gonna have to keep trying, and some good earnings to be well achieved. Today's race in Dragon Trail Seaside turns out to become much average and better handling on the performance for the Group 3 cars. So that means for only Nikra M in the Porsche 911 RSR Type 991 2017 takes the win. Now Samboni 1974 did a good job, is going to be quite doing great to see how his Aston Martin B12 Vantage GT3 is doing great to be in the silver. And Nunya Ibistis in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 did a good job to be in the bronze position. So I guess 2 drivers was actually quite doing a congratulations for doing the best hard work racing motivation out there for having a good successful win. Especially for the 2nd and 3rd place for having a good exact spot to be in position number 2 for the silver and position number 3 in the bronze. That's how it could be quite giving a main part to be in the top 3 finish, folks. The rear tires just almost barely worn out, and luckily for having a received response from Nikra M, good race. You're very welcome, Nikra M. That was a very good endorsement response, so better have to wait to see how several drivers could probably have to give a good basic chat conversations after the race is over. So let's see how several drivers did a pretty good job out there for having a nice average performance to be in the total time. Points this race is going to be quite giving a good earnings. We'll be doing the first part of the race entry. So I hope the first round is going to be the only start to be giving a good successful beginnings to be in the 2021/22 Exhibition Series of the Manufacturer Series. So I have updated my own livery in the Corvette C7 Group 3 with the UDRS Insportec. We'll be putting up with some additional decals, and the same will be going in by having a different relocated spot. And asked also to be as a Michelin Pilot Sport tire sticker for the Manufacturer Series. As always, we'll be starting out in the first 5 rounds on Wednesdays, while the Nations Cup will be taking place on Saturdays before switching over in December 4th through December 8th. Round 1 in Dragon Trail Seaside for the Group 3 category is going to be much brilliant to have a nice wonderful start, since I've been racing so hard to be climbing up onto the top 5 position, because getting so close to be in first place is going to be the only best opportunity to have my Corvette will be climbing up to be in the podium. So right now, in round 2, we'll be coming up in the next race is going to be at Suzuka Circuit for the Group 4 category. And that means we're having a Grand Sport variant onto the Group 4 version of the Chevrolet Corvette C7 will be on the way as well. Just like last time in the 2021 series, it's going to be quite giving a good place we'll be raring to go. Thank you for tuning in on my video, folks. I hope you really enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads to be turned on, and the links on the description down below if you really want to see more. You can check it out on Instagram, DeviantArt, GT Planet, and other social media platforms if you really want to follow me. And don't forget to support my main project, Vision Total Drama, the next chapter of the Total Drama fan art to support the community. I'll be seeing you guys next time to continue on for having a wonderful start in the 2021/22 Exhibition Series Manufacturer Series on Gran Turismo Sport, and I will see you later in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.